Hey, teen author Noah Barfield here.
Hi, I'm Melissa.
And welcome to Writer's Corner. Alright, we're off to a great
Okay.
start. Awesome. Okay.
Mhm.
It's been a while since, we had communication with everything going on in California, everything going on in California, and my constant traveling and everything. We've been planning this video out for like 6, 8 months.
A while.
But we never actually got it done. So thank you for appearing at least via the internet on my channel.
Mhm.
I really appreciate this opportunity.
Mhm.
Um, and all the opportunities you've given me, being on Teen Author's Journal. I don't know if any of my
Mhm.
viewers will remember, but I did a video answering all the questions and, you interviewed me. And
Mhm.
that was remarkable of you, and it gave me like a chance to talk about myself, which is
Mhm.
fantastic. Anyway, everybody on my channel knows everything there is to know about me. I mean, just look at the background, like you know everything already. I'm a nerd. I'm a writing nerd, but you
Mhm.
don't know much about you on my channel. So I'd love to hear a bit about you and in your website, Teen Author's Journal, that I've had the honor to appear on.
So basically, Teen Authors Journal is an online community for young writers to connect and write blog posts.
Mm-hmm.
And I created it about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
February 2nd is our upcoming university anniversary. So yes,
Congratulations.
we'll be starting up our merch store
Oh,
February
fantastic.
2nd. Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
So I can get a shirt then. I can get a
Yes,
shirt, maybe a
you
coffee
can get a
mug.
shirt. Yes, you can get
Oh,
a coffee mug.
fantastic. Okay, and you have, I believe, hundreds of members on Teen Authors Journal.
Yes, we have about 200 members at the moment.
Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah,
And all across the globe. I know that
all
I
across.
was
Yes,
in your video that you did with the Teen Authors Journal across the
right.
world thing. And I
Mhm.
was really surprised, but also it made me super happy to see that. Just that
Mhm.
you have such a wide base and within, I mean, such a finite age range as well. I love Teen Authors Journal. It has a very clean, refreshing look, which I think mirrors you. And so I'd like to hear a little about the person who created Teen Authors Journal. So, how old are you? What grade are you in? You're in
Mhm.
California. So all the way across the country from me. So,
Mhm.
just tell me a little bit about yourself, so that way you're not stranger danger to my viewers.
Right. Okay, so I'm 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a ninth grader, and I go to public school in California.
Ooh, scary.
Um, yes,
Ninth grade,
very
not
scary.
California. Ninth
Yes.
grade.
And my whole life I've gone to private school,
Mm-hmm.
and it was actually my plan to do online school this year so I
Okay.
could manage my time better. But there was a change of plans,
Mm-hmm.
and now I still go to school every day in the morning.
So what genres do you like to write in? Because we are both writers here. So what
Right.
genres do you like to write in?
Well, personally, I like kind of realistic fiction
Mm-hmm.
and paranormal things.
Okay.
I've tried to dip into fantasy, and it hasn't gone too well. Because I start second guessing all of these like made up ideas. I think it's too weird,
Yeah.
so I kind of back out of fantasy. But I'd like to get into it. So mainly realistic fiction.
Okay, so like contemporary and a little bit paranormal here and
Yes,
there.
yeah.
Okay. What was the most recent book that you read? I'm curious.
Most recent book.
Most
Well,
recent.
I'm currently reading. Shoot, what's the name? How could I forget it? Scythe. Right. I'm reading Scythe,
Okay.
and it's I believe it's dystopian. It's basically set in the future where no one can die, so they have scythes come and they basically glean people, which is killing them,
Yeah.
to maintain a good population,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really interesting.
See, that is far, far more dystopian than my method of population control. My method of population control is
Uh-huh.
letting people eat whatever amount of Tide Pods they want, because that's the
Mhm.
thing now, and
Uh-huh.
releasing wolves into large urban population centers, and then just let nature take its course. True
That's
introvert population control. Let stupid people eat Tide Pods. and let the wolves take care of the rest like they did in Yellowstone. With attending public school and running Teen Authors Journal and writing and finding time to read books as well, and doing interviews like this in your spare time, I'm assuming you have some semblance of a social life, and we've talked about you helping run groups at libraries, and I'm sure there's stuff that you're involved in at school. How do you find time for all of it? What are some tips you have for people trying to balance work, school, social life, sleep, plus running a website? How do you do it, and what tips do you have for other people trying to manage whenever they're seemingly being pulled in every direction?
So the most difficult part for me was having too many hobbies, because it's just too many things to do and too much to focus on. After I made Teen Authors Journal, I got really interested in website developing, and I started creating other websites and trying to get better at coding, and I was doing it so much that I got like 4 hours of sleep every night, like at the most.
Well, you look much better than 4 hours of sleep, I have to say.
Thanks. Well, and I hardly got any writing done. I sort of neglected Teen Authors Journal for an amount of time, and my time management just went really low. So I say the hardest part is being able to make compromises, because in order to manage your time, you're going to have to get rid of some of your hobbies, or at least tone them down. You have to really set your priorities, like what is most important. And one of the things that really helps me is every morning when I wake up, I have a piece of paper and I make a list of all the things I want to accomplish that day, or the things I want to focus on that day. Like if I have a test the day after, I'd want to focus more on school that day. Sometimes I want to focus more on writing, and I'll actually put writing as a priority above my homework. So it's really just figuring out like what's most important for you and being flexible with that, because you want to make sure that you're happy too, and that it fits what you need to accomplish, because that is different from what you want to accomplish. You stretch a bit.
Stretch those maturity muscles out. But it is difficult to do, being mature, especially whenever you're a teenager. You're constantly growing physically, emotionally, mentally. You have a lot of emotions that become new, that fade away and fizzle out, that are developing, and different pathways that are connecting in your brain. It's easiest to learn skills whenever you're young, and whenever you're a teenager, it's easier to learn languages. It's easier to create, and the habits that you develop by the time that you're an adult, the ones that you set in your teenage years, will be the habits you have for the rest of your life. Considering how chaotic we are as teenagers, that's a scary thought, that the habits I set for myself as a teenager are the ones that will guide me through the rest of my life. You've done, objectively in my opinion, at least a better job of setting greater habits for yourself from a younger age. I had to start figuring all this stuff out until 18, 19 years old. Now I struggle with it. I struggle to use these effective habits, while you found out how to struggle with them, and now you're implementing them. So how did you reach such a peak skill level of maturity? How has that impacted you and your life, and how do you present that to other people?
Whew.
A lot of big questions here.
Yeah, very deep. One of the things would be business, and sort of being able to communicate with people online, sort of forming professional emails. It's very important. Knowing persuasive writing, because you can really get a long way with words. And that ties in with
that kind of
ties in with creative writing as well. The main way that I've learned how to really be professional online and speak to people in kind of a professional way is when I was trying to get people to first join for Teen Authors Journal. I couldn't exactly just lean back in my chair and watch people sign up for the website. I had to think of a reason for people to come. And at first I was, sending people messages on social media like, will you please join my website, please? And then, it didn't work. And I had to keep constructing that, and I had to try different methods. And then it sort of developed into, well, if you join my site, there's these different things that I can offer you, and this is how it will benefit you. And then there was also the problem of being a little bit too cold and kind of stiff with it, and maybe they got kind of skeptical. So you have to think of a way to also implement your personality into it as well, and be friendly and professional, like, at the same time.
How do you keep a friendly yet professional, mature, at least mask presented to other people?
Okay.
Okay.
I'd say one of the main things is to not talk too much about your personal life. I'd say, like, unless they're directly asking you about something, or really, like, asking questions, that's one of the main things, because, I don't know, I feel like it's very unprofessional if you're having some sort of important meeting or something like that, and you just talk the whole time about your cat or anything like that. Also, just being able to shoot my thoughts.
I'm just gonna be taking notes here. Like, next speech I do in library, do not talk about dog. All right.
Well, I mean, you can always talk about your dog, but there's a certain cutoff point, of course.
Do not show audience pictures of dog when trying to sell books. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say there's a really big difference between talking with your friends and talking with someone you want to speak professionally to.
Oh, yes.
And I'd say there's even a difference between, someone you want to present yourself well with and even, like, a close teacher. There's even a gap there. And there's all these different ways to present yourself to different people. And it's kind of hard because, you want to be the same person all the time. But, there are some changes you have to make in how you present yourself. Like, there's some things you tell your friend that you wouldn't exactly, want to tell your librarian or the mayor or anything like that. Yeah.
Yes. Do not gossip with the mayor. That is a very bad idea, especially since you somehow got to talk to the mayor as a writer. Like, that's already an accomplishment. You basically have to be a Rubik's Cube. Same cube, different sides showing based upon the circumstance.
Shoot, it just slipped from my mind.
The number one tip I have that will help you in every writing element ever is...
Oh, I got it now. I got it.
Okay,
So,
right.
I'd say the number one tip that will help you if you feel like your writing isn't good enough is to just change your mindset and to just, try to look at things in a different filter, because there's a lot of people out there who, they may have better writing than you, but they also may have been writing for a longer time, and they might write more every day, and they might, might want to be writers as a career and not just, like, as a hobby, like maybe you or, somebody... or, anyone in the world.
They might do, you might go to, like, a live-in private school, like a boarding school, while the other person may do unschooling. So unschooling being that, you learn from the world, So say what you will about the effectiveness of it. It gives you a lot more time than going to, like, a structured school all of the time, So for somebody who wants to do this as a career from a young age, who did unschooling, and so writing was their English, and they never really had to do a lot of other things as well. They could have, even though they may be the same age as you, they could have been writing for twice the time, given the
exactly.
like, rigid, structured style of your life, or especially if some parents encouraged, some parents encouraged other writers, and your parents maybe didn't encourage you but never discouraged you. They were just kind of like, all right, we're not going to stop you, but whatever. We would have liked you to have been a nurse. But, okay, like, nothing excites me, but also kills me inside more than reading something like by Christopher Paolini. He did the Aragon, or the Inheritance series, but Aragon was the first book. He wrote it when he was 15, published by 19. So in my head, I'm like, ha, I beat you. But then also I read his book, and I'm like, well, now my writing is, I just can't read it anymore. Objectively, my writing isn't, like, worse. It's different, but objectively, it's not worse. Objectively, your writing probably isn't worse than somebody else's. You're viewing it through a subjective lens, for one, and two, different styles may match better with you. As weird as it may be, you may not write in the style that you like to read. Like, I'm good at writing drama. I don't read drama. I don't like reading drama stories.
every time you write, you're writing with your writing,
Yeah.
and you're stuck with it. It's like just like you're stuck with yourself and your personality, and you might get sick of yourself sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like like maybe reading someone else's book and it's fresh to your mind. You're not used to it, and it seems unique and different, and you think that you're not unique and different because but really you're just used to your own writing.
Right.
So I think you just have to stop being so judgmental towards your own writing, and stop, comparing yourself to other writers and other writers' writing.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my tip on top of this, the icing for this long-winded cake here, is
Yeah.
that just read a bunch of like trashy YA romance and then read your story. It'll probably seem a lot better. I actually did that one time. I read a lot of awful
Really?
books, and then it was while I was editing Legendland. I was like 16. I read a lot of books, including one that one of my friends had given me, and I felt really bad because they were all awful. They were all awful, and I turned back to Legendland, still as like a 4th draft or whatever it was at the time. I was like, not so bad. I think I'll
That's a
keep
good
this
idea.
chapter. Yeah.
I should try that. I'll just ask my friend for her best Wattpad romance recommendations.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. Stalk me online at Facebook, Twitter, Goodreads, and YouTube obviously. Please subscribe and comment below. Now if you're wanting the whole Legendland package, check out Legendland Tale of the Nameless God on Wattpad, updated every Friday. Watch some of my other videos, you might see something you enjoy, and I hope to see you next week.